This house smells when you walk in. How to make a house smell good before a probate sale. That's our topic today. We'll get started right after this. Smell is one of the most important senses. Psychologically speaking, it is one of our senses that is most attached to how we feel about things. It also is attached to our memory. That means it can invoke a memory when we smell a certain smell. So some smells may produce happy memories where other smells not so happy memories. So it's no surprise that smell can come into play when you're trying to sell a house in probate. Hi, I'm KimWard. I'm a certified probate real estate advisor in San Diego County and an expert with helping executors and administrators with homes in probate. House smells like lemon or orange can invoke happy memories. It'll make you feel refreshed and energized. But the question is, what scents actually help a house to sell versus the opposite? What we want to do is create a situation where the smell in the house makes buyers happy and makes them want to be interested in the home. We all know that sometimes life stinks. When selling a home in probate, you only have one shot to make that great first impression. And we want to impress the potential buyers. Believe it or not, most houses, including my own, have a detectable odor. But because of olfactory adaptation, we may not smell our own breath, our own body odor, or the smells that are in our home. And you know what? It's science. In real estate, that first whiff can make a difference on how a potential buyer feels about a home. I have a saying, if I can smell it, I can't sell it. When involved with a probate sale, the typical real estate agent may not be comfortable enough letting you know the facts about what the house smells like. House smells like the litter box or smoke or maybe fish that was cooked in it recently can cause a big problem in the ability to sell. So what you need is someone that can do the sniff test and be honest and truthful and let you know what the smell is like in the home, and also have a solution that can help the home present better. And that's what I do. I have solutions for getting rid of smells. Occasionally tough odors like animals, cigarette smells, sometimes even a moldy smell are creating problems. These smells can, especially with cigarette smells, can get into the walls, the carpeting, the furnishings, the window treatments in a home. And the big thing is you don't want to try and just mask those odors. I have walked into some homes where there were all these plugins and that smell brought on feelings that weren't that great, that it was an overwhelming smell. In some cases, you may actually have to bring in an expert to help get rid of particular odors. For instance, I have helped with homes that the person who passed away smoked inside the home, and literally when you spray down the walls, the nicotine rolls down the walls. It's really very invasive. But there are ways to correct these. They aren't simple fixes. Sometimes they are for small things. If you had animals in the house and the carpeting and the pad definitely need to be replaced because that's where a lot of the odor comes from, I have helped to have carpeting removed, the floors cleaned, and then sealed with a Kills product. It's a very strong oil-based primer that seals in odors. And that way we get the floors coated, we go up the walls a few feet, and then, we put in new paint, new carpeting, new pad, and the house is good to go. I actually had a rental that happened with one of the tenants that were in it, and that's exactly what I did, was put the Kills down on the floor, it sealed the floors, the wooden floors, and then I could put new carpeting in for the next tenant. But what we want to do, if you want to consider getting fair market value for a home that's in probate, is to actually address these issues head on and come up with good solutions. Another thing when you have a house in probate that does have a strong smoke odor to it is we have to consider the HVAC, the heating and air conditioning system. That smoke gets everywhere. It gets into the ducts of the heating system and all of that needs to be addressed. So the heating coils, all the ducts need to be cleaned, new furnace filters need to be installed. It all needs to be addressed in order to really alleviate that smoke smell. I was helping with a probate in the Rancho Bernardo area a few years ago, and the uncle had smoked inside the home. When I met with my client, John, for an initial consultation, we actually had to sit outside because it was so pervasive in the home. And John felt really comfortable with me that I gave him ideas on how we could address this problem. And it was all those things that I just talked about: removing the carpet, removing the pads, sealing the floors, sealing the walls with kills, cleaning the HVAC system, washing the windows. We had to wash everything. Well, not me, other people helped to do that, but I was in charge of directing that. I picked the paint colors. I helped to provide the carpeting company and the carpet install. And when we were all done, really addressing everything, which cost about $40,000 to $50,000. I know that's a lot, and it's usually not that much, but this house actually called for much more than your typical home. And ultimately what happened is the estate actually made over $100,000 more, including the repair costs, than if we would have just put it on the market with that smoke in the house, and it would have sold to an investor for at least $150,000 less than what John was able to obtain for the estate with my help. And here's a little tip. Did you know that studies show that a house that has strong odors, including smoke odors, typically sell for over 25% less? And that's because it's very difficult for a traditional buyer to see and smell what the home could be. Once they walk into that type of a home that smells like that, they walk right out. It just really scares them. So the other thing that we can do, and I have done, is use an ozone generator. So once the walls are scrubbed, the floors are scrubbed, everything has been scrubbed down as much as possible to remove the actual nicotine, then I will bring in, it's called an ozone generator, and it's the same kind of thing that hotels use in rooms where someone has smoked inside the rooms. And it's very bad for our health. You're not supposed to be in the room and breathe any of it in. So we have to be really cautious on how we use it. And I post signs telling people not to come in while this machine is working, but it really works. I don't know how it works, but it changes the molecular something and helps to remove any lingering smoke smell after we clean everything. So in a typical home that has odors, I think it's really important that everything be cleaned in a probate house. The only time that I don't recommend and bring in cleaners is when the house is such a total fixer that it's definitely going to sell to an investor. There are times when situations are like that, but I'm going to provide all of the options and approximately what it would cost to do the options that I offer. And sometimes the estate representative simply chooses to sell as is. That is the only time that I do not recommend having the home cleaned. Another time I had a client, Marvin, and his father had passed away. There was a home in Mission Hills, and his father had 6 cats. So back to the situation where the carpets and the pads are soaked with feces and urine. I know, but his father loved these cats, but he got to the point where he was unable to make sure that they were using the litter box. So that in that case, I got a team in there that got all the carpets out, all the furniture out, and again, sealed the floors very well and up the walls some, and then painted the walls and ceilings, and we put in new carpeting. And the house smelled fine after that. The whole thing is to make sure that whatever odor is there gets sealed in to the wooden floors and into the drywall also of the home. And that client, Marvin, couldn't believe that my plan of getting rid of odors in the house and deodorizing the house worked. And the house actually smelled good. More repairs were done on that house in Mission Hills, and we soon after put the house on the market as a probate sale. The home was purchased by a couple that wanted to live in that area, and Marvin was really happy that he didn't make the decision to simply sell the probate house to an investor. The bottom line is that smells can be a major deterrent to selling a home. Investing in removing those smells is a way to sell a probate home for way more than you would if you just leave it the way it is. It increases the probate home's marketability, the value, and the appeal. So, if possible, if there's funds available in the estate, don't be afraid to spend a little on carpet, paint, and cleaning. And why wouldn't you do that if we can actually get the smells out on our own? I promise you, it will be worth it. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so that you get notified of my weekly videos all about probate real estate here in San Diego, and you wouldn't want to miss any. Thanks for watching.